Alone Together, a DS9 companion. Episode 4, Tangle. Julian Bashir and Elam Garak continue to push the limits of espionage by joining forces, yet limiting knowledge of that mission. Jadzia's involvement with Intendant Kira may complicate matters, but that doesn't mean their hands are tied. The mystery of Kira's possible connection to the Breen, however, definitely complicates matters. As Quark continues his work to bring Jadzia home safely, he is also awaiting word from his contacts in the Gamma Quadrant. Until he hears more, it seems that information is at a standstill.
In our last episode, Castellan Garak and Dr. Bashir began to examine the possibilities of a Breen connection to Bajor. Jake Sisko and Quark have learned that Section 31 may have been involved in the accidents that claimed the lives of Captains Nog and Ezri Dax. Jadzia has revealed that she was cloned by Intendant Kira and is being forced to participate in a secret mission that Julian Bashir has no knowledge of.
Mission log, stardate 74825.4. Starfleet has deployed additional personnel to Deep Space Nine to await refugees coming from the Gamma Quadrant. I'm on board the Chun Ming, and I'm setting course to rendezvous with their transport vessel in case medical assistance is required en route. Bashir to Garak.
Garak, here.
Have you heard anything?
You'll have to be more specific. Julian, do you know how many Section 31 missions or operations are ongoing at any given moment in this world?
Of course.
That you know of. The Obsidian Order has been presiding over political machinations on 2, if not more.
The Breen, Garak.
Yes, the Breen, very well, but you're not going to like it.
I already don't like it. What have you heard?
Well, the Breen have been doing an experimental project on collaboration with or on behalf of Bajor. They're working with some unknown Bajoran coalition, but from what my operatives are saying, it is entirely separate from the Bajoran government. I've heard murmurs that middlemen are working through co-conspirators who then communicate through intermediaries. It's quite a conundrum. My operatives are...
Our operatives, Garak. This is a joint operation after all.
Yes, well, point taken, Julian. I'll send you the intelligence via Kukalaka. I must insist that you do not store the data locally on your shuttlecraft. I do not trust the intendant.
Of course, I'll download it to a pad and delete it once it's read. Your brain teaser sounds more like a nightmare.
On the contrary, it's a rare challenge.
Only you could see this as a positive.
And one which will help me determine which operatives are our best. The Alpha Quadrant is hardly free of intrigue these recent years.
Intrigue that you've had a hand in?
Well, really now, Julian, my involvement has been administrative at best.
Administrative?
Well, my involvement with the Andorians was to keep them beholden to the Federation until they saw reason.
Your interference began as part of their problem.
And ended by being their solution. The Federation has been stabilized by my alleged interference, my dear doctor.
Granted, but granted.
And the Breen enigma is only beginning to unfold.
It feels more like this enigma has been unfolding for some time. It's like we're riding the tortoise and the hare has yet to take his legendary nap.
You've lost me.
The tortoise and and you know, never mind. Doesn't matter. It's not important. Listen, I'm en route to rendezvous with the Federation starship. Jadzia is on board, and I'll tell you this: I will never doubt Quark again. I don't know how he did it, but anyway, we are dangerously behind in solving this mystery.
Well, that goes without saying, but we may have a lead. I have intercepted the communications frequency of the Talarian vessel when it last departed Bajor. I'm sending it to you now. I think you're more likely to get information from someone working with the Bajorans than I am.
Got it. I'll contact him shortly. Do you have anything else?
Julian, the last communication with Bajor was encrypted, but the source was from within the main building of the Vedic Assembly. The Bajoran government may not be involved, but someone in authority most certainly is.
Understood. Nerys may be in danger. I'll be in touch.
Kira to Ordon.
Eminence, it's an honor, as always.
Yes, thank you, Captain. How did the contact go?
Please. Ordon. I owe the prophets everything. My daughter.
Is safe. Thanks to the blessings of the prophets. We can only assume they are what brought us together for our important work. And how is it proceeding?
Yes, of course. The transport was once again successful. The genetic samples were confirmed as received in good condition. My contact said the first columns will be delivered in less than a week.
Excellent. Did you give them the new deployment location?
They were told to deploy the gem.
What did I tell you?
Eminence, my apologies. I am sorry. The columns will be delivered to the second moon of Bajor.
And the design specifications have been confirmed.
Yes, Eminence, I promise you. I viewed the sensor telemetry of the last trials myself. I am sending it to you now on a secured channel.
Excellent. The prophets are smiling on you.
Since my daughter's ship was first carried safely through the wormhole, their grace is all that I have wanted. I suppose it sounds ridiculous coming from a Tellarian.
Of course not. The prophets love all their children. I will contact you to make arrangements for your final compensation.
Thank you, Eminence. Ordon out.
Buffoons and their prophets. Prophets. Oh, I love this universe. That fool will get exactly what's coming to him.
Jadzia to Quark.
Jadzia, it's good to see you. Are you all right?
It's good to see you, Quark. I knew I could count on you.
Well, of course, you can always count on me. But in this case, you're counting on 2 debts and 3 favors.
Oh, Quark.
It's not easy to get the chief engineer of a Nebula-class starship to request a sudden, last-minute test of upgrades to Bassard collectors.
But
Though it helps when you're owed 10 bars of platinum.
10 bars?
10 bars. 6 from Commander Farrell and 4 more from a recent Academy graduate who happens to pilot a starship, but doesn't know when to walk away from the double wheel.
I don't know what to say. I feel like I can finally start to breathe again.
You're safe on board a Starfleet vessel.
I've never been in protective custody, and although the Akira is a nice ship, I wouldn't want to live here.
As I understand it, Nebula-class vessels aren't known for creature comforts, but it was the only vessel I could find that I might be able to reroute to Parada without raising suspicion. The fact that there's an emission nebula near to Parada 4 is exactly the reason.
Quark, I still don't know why I'm here. I mean, Dax is alive. Karen has my memories. Why bring me back? Being out from the Intendant's clutches doesn't mean all my problems are solved. And nothing feels right.
Of course not. It makes sense. You've been through a lot, Jadzia.
No, it's more than that, Quark. Oh, golly. This body, I don't feel right. Something feels wrong. My head is spinning. Ever since I got beamed aboard the Akira.
Jadzia, it's all right. Is there a counselor on board? Maybe you need to talk to them. It helped Nog with his post-traumatic stress after a Jem'Hadar attack.
Julian told me what happened. Oh, Quark, I'm so sorry. Nog was a really good man. I hope that Rom's all right. Maybe I should talk to a counselor. I just feel like so much is rushing around in my head. I'm finding it hard to focus, After getting out of the intendant's lab, I really am not feeling great about doctors right now.
I'll be sure to tell Julian that.
Quark, don't you dare.
You seem to be focusing just fine.
It's really hard to explain.
You can tell me when you get back to the station. Now, why don't you go to sick bay and tell them how you're feeling?
I suppose you're right. Maybe I'm overthinking.
You? Ha! Never. You aren't alone anymore, Jadzia.
I'll see you in a few, Quark.
I'll set up the Tangle wheel.
I cannot wait. Jadzia out.
I'd even get to tell her how I got the transporter chief to beam her aboard, or the security chief to arrange secured quarters. It's not often I get to impress people with more than a good drink these days. Quark to Jake.
Jake here. Hey, Quark, I may have some news for you.
No kidding. The past few days have been nothing if not absent of new information. What have you got?
What my sources originally said was that there was a human in the Gamma Quadrant, apparently a woman. She's been tracking a cargo vessel, but it turns out that she may be a Trill.
Trill? In the Gamma Quadrant? You don't say.
Yeah, I mean, those spots might be difficult to see in the shadows, but hey, do you think they may be poking around about Ezri?
Ezri? No. I mean, I don't know. Don't you think they would have gone through official channels?
Maybe you're right. But we're not using official channels.
Well, good point, Jake. Now, what about this cargo vessel?
Yeah. Apparently, this woman has been asking questions about a Talarian cargo vessel. They are importers from the Alpha Quadrant, but they haven't picked up a full shipment for months. My sources say this supplier, Captain Erdan, is one of the primary distributors across a half a dozen sectors.
See? Huh. No wonder Tulaberry wine has been getting so hard to acquire. Probably raised the bar prices right away.
Quark, focus.
I'm always focused, Jake. Oh, you're right. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, he isn't bringing his primary cargo through the wormhole. What does that have to do with the accident?
I think the question is, what else is he hauling if he's a primary distributor and he doesn't make space for his primary cargo? I mean, we know that the wormhole reacts with plenty of things. What if Starfleet was importing a banned substance? Or what if it's Section 31 and Starfleet is covering for them for some reason?
I suppose it's possible, but I think you're reaching, Jake. I have a few calls out to some franchisees, but if business is booming, they don't always get back to me quickly.
I'm starting to think that you are really not reaching far enough, Quark. You haven't had much to contribute lately, and maybe I should just, take care of this on my own.
Jake, I'm sorry. I want answers too. I guess I've been afraid of bringing this story to an end too quickly.
Well, we need answers, Quark. I need answers. I can't slow down, not now.
You're right, Jake. I'll start talking to some of my bartenders. Maybe they'll know something about the Tellurian captain.
That's good. I'm glad that you're back on the case. Thanks, Quark. I'll be in touch. Cisco out.
I'll talk to them about increasing the price of Tuberberry wine, too.
Computer, initiate scrambler code Garak Phoenix and open a secure channel to Julian Bashir.
Scrambler code Phoenix confirmed. Channel open.
Garak, am I glad to see you?
Well, as always, it's nice to see you, Julian, but this isn't a social call.
No, of course it isn't. I've just received a secure communique from the chief medical officer on board the Akira. Apparently, Jadzia went there to their sickbay with concerns about an inability to concentrate.
Huh.
They sent me some preliminary neural scans, and I'm pretty concerned.
Well, you've always been a warrior.
Rarely without reason.
I suppose not. So, what have you found?
It's what I'm not finding that concerns me. Jadzia seems to be presenting symptoms of vascular dementia. There are no signs of a stroke, but there seems to be a developing arterial impairment. It doesn't make sense, and I'm waiting on a toxicology report, but Jadzia is on bed rest for the time being, and if the cloning process was flawed in some way...
You know, while you're waiting for that report, shall we attend to Bajor?
That's a damned heartless thing to say, Elam.
On the contrary, Julian. If all you can do is wait, then best to find a distraction. Until you have more information, all you'll do is sit and stew in your worries and your juices, hardly a productive use of your time.
That's good advice.
Indeed. Now, as I was saying, that seemingly secret Joran coalition, well, they have been collaborating with a Breen science team. According to our intelligence, they're located on an outpost in the Chamra vortex.
The Breen working in the Gamma Quadrant. Working on what?
Well, an asteroid, naturally, but more specifically, according to our operatives, they have appropriated an abandoned Dominion outpost. Whatever project they're working on, it involves some level of genetics.
With which the Dominion has a great deal of expertise.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't seen more than transport vessels from the Dominion in years.
Oh, that's true. But the Breen worked quite closely with the Dominion for months during the war. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that they acquired some invaluable knowledge during that partnership.
But what would draw Bajor into working with a Federation adversary? With the relationship we forged over decades, it makes no sense.
There are many things that make little sense, my dear doctor, until information rises to the surface.
You're saying that there's still something we're missing?
There is likely a great deal we're missing, Julian. But we know now more than we did only a few hours ago. I have a few subtle inquiries to make.
Well, I'm going to contact Jadzia, though I hate to do it when her condition is as tentative as it is.
Yeah, I understand your hesitance, but she may know more than she thinks. She has been working for Intendant Kira for the past few months.
At least. I'll let you know if there's anything I can learn.
And take care, Julian. This stress is making you gray.
Stress?
Mm-hmm.
It's making me look distinguished, Eden. Bashir out.